Good morning, children. I am Nancy Chandran. Today we are going to learn the poem Dust of Snow, written by Robert Frost. It is given in your textbook First Flight. So, this poem is a very simple poem, seemingly very simple poem, but it has a lot of philosophical underlying theme behind it, idea behind it. You have already studied Robert Frost in class 9, his poem, The Road Not Taken. The Road Not Taken. It was all about the various choices that you make in your life. Once you have taken a particular road, there is no looking back. You can't go back and rework on your decision. So that was the poem all about. So you know that the style of Robert Frost, the style of writing is something very profound and philosophical. Always it is like that. And Dust of Snow is also a very small poem written by him, though it is very small, and it dealt with an ordinary incident in a person's life, but it has a deeper meaning in it. So that is what we are going to learn today. Before we begin the explanation of the poem, let us see the introduction of the poet. So you already know the details, more details about Robert Frost. You might have studied in your previous class. So Robert Frost was an American poet. The main feature of American poetry is they are very profound and they have a lot of deeper layers of meaning in it. They look very simple and ordinary, but they have a lot of deeper meaning in it. That is a speciality of American poetry, and he was an American poet. He was born in San Francisco. He had worked as a school teacher, he worked as an editor of various magazines. The poem Dust of Snow was first published in New Hampshire magazine in 1923. His first published poem was My Butterfly, appeared on November 8th, 1894, in the New York newspaper, The Independent. And there are some more details about the poet. You don't have to by heart all these things, but you must know these details as a general introduction of the poet. You must know what kind of a poet, what kind of poetry he writes. He is known for his realistic depictions of rural life. Rural life means village life. In the rural setup, he portrays those ordinary incidents in a very realistic and beautiful manner, but it has a lot of profound meaning in it. And he uses a lot of American colloquial speech, rural language, normal kind of speech. He doesn't include lot of ornamental words in his writing. Very simple language, lucid form of writing he uses. But at the same, why poets are using such kind of simple language? Because it is easy for the readers to understand the meaning of the poetry. That is the main idea. If the language is simple, the people, laymen, will be able to understand it, read and enjoy it. That is the main idea of it. And he frequently wrote about settings from rural life, as I told you, in New England. New England means America, in the early 20th century, using them to examine complex social and philosophical themes. I told you very complex issues have been dealt with usually, but the language is very simple and the incident will be very ordinary kind of an incident, but it has a deeper meaning in it. He uses a lot of symbols and images which are intelligible to common people. Doesn't have very hi-fi kind of, very profound, very ornamental kind of, decorative kind of writings will not be there in that. But symbols and images are used in the writing. It is always associated with an ordinary man's life, but it has a lot of deep meaning hidden inside it. This is how the poem looks. It has only two stanzas, a very simple poem, Dust of Snow. I'll just recite the poem for you. Recitation is all about just read with expression. You also practice it. You may be doing it in a better way. Let's do it. The way a crow shook down on me, the dust of snow from a hemlock tree, has given my heart a change of mood and saved some part of a day I had rued. So this is how the poem looks. Uh, Let us see the stanza-wise explanation of it. In this particular video, I'll be giving you the explanation of the first stanza of the poem. The way a crow shook down on me, the dust of snow from a hemlock tree. So the background setting of the poem is during a winter season, a winter day. The poet was in a very sad and depressed state of mind already. He was in a very sad state of mind. He was not in a good mood. So what he decided is that he decided to go for a walk. So he went out and he went for a walk. And during winter season, how the foreign countries and foreign countries will look, you know that lot of snowfall will be there, and the whole nature will be completely white in color with snowflakes, full of snow, plants and trees, everything will be filled with snow, all that completely snow capped. So that kind of a setup it is. And he came out of the house and he was going for a walk, and he came under a hemlock tree. So here the hemlock tree, you must know what kind of a tree it is. Hemlock is actually a very poisonous tree. It is a poisonous tree bearing poisonous fruits actually. It has white color flowers in it, and this tree is not considered as a very good tree, like cherry tree or cherry blossom. That kind of pleasant look you will not get when you look at a hemlock tree. And it has like spine coniferous kinds of leaves are there, because in during winter season it will be completely covered with snow. So he came under the hemlock tree, and suddenly what happened is that from nowhere, he doesn't know from where it came, from nowhere a crow had come, and the crow came and it sat on one of the branches of the tree. So when the crow was sitting on the branch of the tree, came and sat on the branch of the tree, some snow particles had fallen from the tree and it fell on the poet, because the poet was standing under the tree and it fell on him. So I told you he was already in a very sad and depressed state of mind. He was not in a good mood actually, and he was brooding over that negative thoughts and all that. And suddenly the snow fell on him. So that was like a wake up call for the poet. According to him, he felt that this particular incident, the crow is shaking the branches and the snow fell on me, that was actually like a wake up call for the poet. It is an indication from nature that just wake up. Why are you brooding over your past, or why are you brooding over your negative thoughts? You just come out of it. That kind of a wake up call. It is like a welcome sign from nature. It was like the crow was actually like a messenger. Crow is also not a pleasant looking bird. Nobody likes to listen to the voice of or noise of the crow or crow crying and all that. It doesn't look auspicious also. So hemlock tree and crow are actually not pleasant sight for anybody. It looks very inauspicious. It is a symbol of bad omen, ill omen you call it. It is not a good sign actually. But from those seemingly negative images also, you are actually getting a positive message. The poet is actually getting a positive message through it. That is the first stanza all about. So that is explanation of the first stanza, and the following slide, the next slide, I'll be explaining the next stanza for you. Thank you.